Folks, welcome back to the shop. Frank here. Back in the shop today working on the Cub Cadet forklift conversion. Last episode we installed the power steering valve, steering column, and the hoses to the power steering cylinder. The hose is a little bit long here. I need to tuck them away. And my Brutus just came in. It's kind of the point now where when I turn the camera on, start talking, he immediately comes in. Anyway, he and Butchie are in here every 15-20 minutes while I'm working out here, just checking on me, getting some pets, hoping they'll get a treat, something like that. Anyway, all right, so we're going to work on the controls, engine controls, the choke, it's Butchie again, the choke and throttle controls. So get started on that. Come here, Butchie. This is my Butchie. And there's my Brew. Alright. You guys being good? They're full of beans today. The weather's turned cooler. I think it was only a high of 56 or something, 50 in the 50s today. So it's definitely cooling off. Alright. We'll get started here on the control cables. This pair of wires goes to the this interlock switch here, and we don't need it anymore. So to eliminate that interlock, we just short these two together. Alright, there's a second interlock that somebody else, this is the PTO interlock. I'm not using a PTO. We can bypass this. Where's my Brew? Your turn. Your turn. Good boys. All right. Good puppies. So I'm mounting the starter relay here and the voltage regulator on the inside of the frame here, and it's just a convenient place to put them. And I made these little plates so that I don't have to drill through the side of the frame to bolt them on. I'm going to weld these plates to the inside of the frame. I don't want any penetrations through the frame because I'm ultimately going to reinforce the outside of the frame, and I want that reinforcement plate to be flush to the frame. So if I had bolt heads sticking through the frame, it would create an interference. So, and this just seemed to be an easy way to do it. Alright, that'll get welded right there. Voltage regulator. About there. So I've got that tightened up. Got the voltage regulator and the starter relay fastened to the frame, and they need to be in electrical contact with the frame. They both need to be grounded. So that's the reason for fastening them that way. So they're both grounded to the frame now. And let me hook up the jump pack, and we should be in a position to test the starter switch and see if we can get the tractor just to turn over. So I've got a jump pack here. Let me put this clamp on the starter bolt, which is a ground, and I put the positive clamp on what will be the battery, positive battery terminal, like that. And then I've got the key switch here. Alright, so that works. It turns over the engine. Do need to extend this section of the harness up to the dash, so we'll work on that next. So I need to extend this wire, and these two wires to inside the dash. I've got a piece of boat cable here. This is 3 conductor 14 gauge, so I'm going to use this. And then I've got another, this is 12 gauge, so I'm going to use the red one on here. And I've got white, green, and black, so I'll do one of them for this black one. This one doesn't need to be extended. Maybe I'll use white for the orange and then green for this other one, and that'll just allow me to run more conveniently. The colors don't really matter as long as I keep track of which one's which, so I know how they go back together. All right, then we'll make this up on the inside of the dash to the other end of that cable. I'll go ahead and put this butt splice on here. See, this is boat cable. This is all tinned wire, so you don't get the corrosion that you get with just plain copper wire. Come a little bit long here. Trim them off. All right. Matching up which wire, which color goes to which color, it doesn't really matter as long as I keep them straight and connect them to the right wire at the other end. Alright, I think I'm going to wrap that in some tape, and then we'll tie wrap it and secure it inside the frame. I'll tape these up after. I don't want to be able to reference which color goes to which. Tape that up later. I always seem to strip these a little bit longer than they're necessary. All right. White goes to orange, which is right here. Alright, green goes to this thinner wire. Black goes to this thicker wire. And of course, red goes to the red wire. Now these two go on either side of the charging meter. We'll leave them together for the time being. Let's recheck the starter switch. Okay, so that's working. What's going on, guys? Huh? You come in here all excited. Oh, you're all wet. You're all wet. Is it raining outside now? I think it must be raining out. All right, let's hook up the battery again. All right. Make sure I have spark. Alright, definitely do. Nice strong spark. Someone asked in the comments some weeks ago about the 10 horsepower engine here being in a 129, a model 129, which would normally be 12 horsepower. And when I got this tractor several years ago, I went through it, and one of the things, and the engine that was in it was burning oil, smoking. So I had rebuilt this engine. It came out of another tractor, and I totally overhauled it. New rings, piston, valves, ground, cylinder, board oversized, so it was oversized piston and rings, so completely overhauled. So this engine is basically new condition. I mean, it has probably 25 hours on it, maybe. All right, so now that we've confirmed we've got spark, that basically finishes the electrical system. You know, we still have to hook up a battery, and we'll mount a battery here someplace underneath the seat probably, but we're at least in a position where we can start the tractor and run it from an electrical standpoint. All right, that's it. I've run out of time this week. I've been excuse me, a little bit under the weather the past 4 or 5 days. If you hear me clearing my throat, I apologize. You know, this is the first cold I've caught in almost 3 years, 2.5 years, 3 years since the beginning of the pandemic. This is end of October 2022, so last time I had a cold was prior to the pandemic, so it would have been in early 2020 or maybe even before that. So I don't have COVID. I don't think I have COVID. I've tested a couple times. So I have never had COVID, and so hopefully it will stay that way. Eventually everybody's going to get it, so there's no getting around that. Ultimately everybody will get it. Or I may have had it and not known it. I mean, that's entirely possible too. A lot of asymptomatic cases. A lot of my friends have had it, been at parties or gatherings, social events that I've been at, and they've written emails to the group saying it came down with COVID. Most of them pretty recently, so most of it's the Omicron strains. But anyway, I don't want to necessarily get into that. So I haven't had as much time out here in the shop this week as I would have liked, and I went to a estate sale last week and picked up a bunch of stuff. So I'll cover some of that stuff, some gems for sure, and stuff that I needed for the shop. It was a pretty worthwhile effort to haul that stuff home. So I'll show you that stuff in the next video. Run out of time for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll come back next week and do the throttle and choke cables and hopefully get the tractor running at that point. So leave a comment if you got any questions. Ring the bell. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys next week.